guys, and for real shine, wild ones, it's Bernadette. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Monday, October 26, 2020. And I know I'm acting like a little girl that just got the puppy or the Barbie dream house she always wanted, but I love giving you guys good news. And guess who flew in for everybody today? Lightning Bug Firefly, the Six of Wands. This is one of the happiest cards in the tarot. Who doesn't love seeing lightning bugs? Who doesn't love going off into little fantasy stories when you see the lightning bugs about they're actually little fairies floating around, the fae folk around in the woods. Just everything magical that sparkles and dances in your fantasy forest, wherever that is. And, I think y'all probably know by now, Bernadette spends a lot of time in the fantasies in her head. So when I see fireflies, I just know that so much. And when I see the Six of Wands, I just know that magic is either happening for you now, just started to happen, or is fixing to happen. Yes, fixing to happen. I'm letting my southern fly today. So let's get started and let's take a look at the Six of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. Now, if you're just joining us, I use my own deck, the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, to read. It is based on the Rider-Waite system, and it also infuses all of the amazing symbolism and meanings of the spirit animals, and it just takes tarot to a whole new level. So if you take a look at the traditional card, basically what you see, I mean, it's pretty easy to see what's going on. There's Mr. Man, and he's got his laurel wreath, and he's got his winner's wreath, and he's on this beautiful white horse, who I've always wondered why is giving him the stink eye. Maybe I'll find that out one day. But there's just, you think it's a simple card, but it's not a simple card, which is why Firefly actually wanted to be the Six of Wands. We'll get to that in a second. Now, as you know, Mondays are governed by the root chakra, and the ruling planet is the moon. So this is about your emotions today. This is about getting anchored in those emotions. Don't let them, make you go cattywampus in a negative way. Now, that doesn't mean that, like if you got the winning lotto ticket, I got to believe you'd lose it for a few minutes, while you were like, oh my gosh, why, yes, I can. I can spend $350 million. But when you have the Six of Wands show up, you've got the attention of everybody, and you've been blessed by powers in very high places. The Kabbalists call the Six of Wands the Lord of Victory. Now, what's cool about this is the victory is inward and it's outward, which again is going to lend itself to the lightning bug here in just a second. And you'll see again why that card just was like, that's it, Bernadette, I have to be the Six of Wands. So when you take a look at the staff and the wreath, that it forms the alchemical symbol for salt, which means that you're pure of mind and body, which has led to your success. So let me just say that again. You have succeeded, whatever this is you're fixing to succeed in, maybe you just started succeeding in, or you want to succeed in, as long as it stays pure and true, and there's no greed, there's no avarice, there's no plotting in a negative way, there's no planning. It's literally just a pure thing that comes from your heart space. It, it's like, that's it. There's your winning ticket. There's your winning formula. And sometimes it can be a little hard to stick to that, only because it can be a little difficult for us not to tend to want to shine our own light under stuff our light under a bushel, that old saying. And now is not the time to do that. Now, I'm not saying now is the time to be a braggart or a narcissist or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's okay to be like, yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I did accomplish that. Yeah. And and there's a call for you to do that. There's a call for you to own that. Reason being is it's a confidence thing. Once you own the success, the next step that you want to take won't be nearly as fear-filled. There won't nearly be the trepidations or the reticence or anything like that. You'll be able to move forward more quickly and achieve whatever success you want to achieve really probably at a bigger level, but definitely more quickly. Now, when you take a look at, he's wearing fiery red and solar orange, the yellow shirt, you're not exhausted, you've got that solar plexus just going, 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 and you're only slowing down enough to be seen and recognized. And I want to speak to that for a second. So I follow some authors and other tarot readers on Facebook. They're just amazing business people, and they've got, tons of people have amazing decks and books. And one of these people who sold 20,000 books in his first time out of the starting gate in less than a year, his publisher sold 20,000 books. That is a feat. And he posted on Facebook that he was just really, he wasn't sure about posting that because he felt like it could be seen as bragging. And I was one of the people that chimed in. I'm like, look, for the rest of us out here that are doing the thing, man, and I'm a self-publisher, right? I'm a self-publisher. So for me, anything that I can learn, I can glean, I can whatever is very helpful to me. And a lot of people ask me advice about publishing because they know, the ARC won all these awards and it broke a lot of sales, statistics, so on and so forth. And I'm always really happy to help. And why I go into that is because when this brings me to the Nelson Mandela quote that, goodness, her name is Marianne Williamson, wrote for him in his inaugural speech, where it's like, we think, who are we to be brilliant and this and that, but in fact, who are we not to be? As we shine our own light, we make manifest the glory of God and help others, find their way as well. And so just, you never know what your enthusiasm, what your well-placed pat on the back for yourself can do as inspiration for other people. So please be sure, whatever you're doing, that you're trying to accomplish, that you let others know about it so that they can be inspired as well. Now, when you take a look at the staffs, right? So the 5 staffs held by the men on the ground in the 6 of Wands, it's a reference to the 5 of Wands, meaning that this card also promises victory after a struggle. But it's not even a real struggle. It's like, oh, I snagged my nail kind of trouble. It's not all that. And the white horse is, of course, it's white to signify, divine blessings, that your intentions are divine and true. And the green cloth, that is on the horse, that is definitely about prosperity and love. Green comes to the heart chakra. So I would really encourage you that whatever is truly, truly, truly on your heart, that's what you want to try to accomplish. One more real quick thing about the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. It can seem, now listen, this deck is like a bajillion years old, okay? And it was made in a time where women weren't given a whole lot of love on decks. So this particular card can seem like a little bit of a boys' club, but the victorious rider could easily be a woman. And it's important to know that because even today still, I I I marvel at the amount of women who, and I see them, y'all, I read thousands of people a year, at the amount of women that are still a little bit hesitant to go head to head with a man in the workplace or go head to head with a man over an invention or a, hey, y'all, somebody out there, sorry, I'm not having a psychotic break. That's what it looks like when I'm in reading mode. Somebody out there, there could be 4 or 5 of y'all, somebody's got an invention that they want to make, but for real. Not like I talked about it or I thought about it or I dreamed about it, but like you might even have gotten the paperwork for trademark or this or that. There's something about an invention that if you're a little bit farther down the path, like you're for real inventing it or you for real have invented it, you've got to move forward with it. It will take time. You probably already know that, but you've got to do it. It's going to go really well. I don't know that it's going to make you a gazillionaire, like Forrest Gump says, a gozillionaire, but it's got legs. It really, really does have legs. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, I'm back. Okay. So let's say that in today that you came to the reading today, the daily reading, because you're like, oh my God, my love life, please. I need some kind of sign. I need some direction. I need something. There's a friendship that's changing. It's being enriched. It is it might be evolving into a love, into a romantic relationship. So just know that you may not be staying in the friend zone for very much longer, especially if you shine your own light. Okay, so let's talk about the correlation between lightning bug, firefly, and the Six of Wands. So, listen, the symbolism of a firefly and, a lightning bug as a spirit totem power animal is pretty easy. It's about letting your beautiful light shine. It's about believing that wishes can come true. It's about definitely going, maybe lightening up just a little bit and remembering what it was like when you were a kid or even as an adult and the fireflies came out at the first of summer, right? And how just completely mesmerizing and just turned the whole landscape into a magical fantasy woods forest. It could just be your back porch, but it just gave rise to such imagination. Now, something that lightning bugs do is when it's mating time, the women just kind of hang out, grab some popcorn, get a beer, and they're looking at the show too because they're looking for the male that does the best light show that appeals to them, and then they go off and they mate and they have they have little fireflies. That has always been a call to me that, it's one thing for somebody to say, you got to shine your light. Get your light out from under that bushel. Yak, yak, yak. There's like a million sayings for that. It's implied that it's your light, whatever your light is. If your light is like a mirror ball, then you need to shine that mirror ball. If it's like a strobe light, you need to shine that strobe light. If it's a little pink, if it's a little this color, if it's a little that color, if it only comes out at certain times, okay, whatever that is, whatever light dance you're doing, that's the dance you've got to do because that's the vibration that gets sent out into the universe and the universe responds to that specificity. Meaning, whatever you're pinging out is exactly what the universe is picking up. Now, that sounds like really we had to show up to the reading today for that. But yes, because there's just something about that individuality, that thumbprint, that light print that's only yours, that you're being called to get out there in the world. No matter how kooky other people think it is, it doesn't matter as long as your intentions stay pure. When also you see firefly, it is about that communication. What are you communicating with that light? And I know I'm stuttering a little bit, but that's because I've got the animal allies pinging in my head. Tell them it's about the light. Tell them it's about the light. Tell them it's about the light. And that seems like we all know that. Like we're probably all light workers and we probably understand about shining our light. But there's something even bigger about it, which means that you're being called to do something bigger. So let's say that I don't know, we can't hold carnivals right now, but let's say that you're doing something to raise money for something and you've got X, Y, and Z plan. Or let's say that you've got something that you want to make and you want to start selling on Etsy and you have X, Y, and Z plan. You should probably start planning for A, B, C, D, E, F, and G because that's how big it could be if you will just shine your light every step of the way. With the end result being when you go to look ahead. I love business coaches who say you've got to visualize. Really? Okay, I get that. But as you as you do visualize and look ahead, it's important that you look from a bigger perspective, or at least ask the animal allies to show you what that bigger perspective could mean. I have a friend who's an amazing costumer. Amazing. And, nobody's working in theater these days, and who knows how long it's going to be. So I was like, well, hey, why don't you start an Etsy store? It's not like you can't do XYZ, so on and so forth. And so I think she's going to start, me and on Facebook, a whole bunch of us were like, oh my gosh, yes, she should do that. I think she's going to start an Etsy store where she specializes in plus size Renaissance wear and costumes and all the accoutrement. And she could build a whole little cottage industry off of that. But she had to get to where she could figure out what her what her love is, which is costuming of all kinds, but then allow herself to be open to see other people's light shine. So like when I suggested doing the plus sizes, and this person suggested doing this dragon or this or this or this. My gosh, y'all, she had a business plan inside of an hour. It was beautiful to watch. So just love, passion, belief in the fairy realm. Um, if you are, if you're in a place where you can be physically near fireflies, don't catch them and put them in. Don't catch them and put them in bottles, please, y'all. But allow yourself the visualization of, let's say one does land on you, or they're all around you and it's really dark. I mean, it used to get so dark when I was a kid out where we lived, you could not see your hand in front of your face. No joke. You couldn't. But it's really easy to imagine that you're in the night sky surrounded by stars. Not that fireflies aren't good enough, but who wouldn't want to be, surrounded by stars and out there in the twinkly world and seeing what's going on? You guys, we live in a glorious, glorious, glorious planet. Mother Gaia is very, very good to us. And fireflies are one of her beautiful gifts that she gives us. So accept that gift and accept that you are a gift also, and go out and spread your unique light every dang where. All right. Hope that was helpful on this Monday. Yes, I got to do my stuff, y'all. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck and subscribe to my YouTube channel now. Blah, blah, blah. What's the most important thing, y'all? To stay wild.